YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones.
It is coming. Necronomicon. Strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes his ancient secrets.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
Necronomicon.
What's in the basket? Easter eggs?
Hello, good evening. Let me just check the microphone is up and running on there. Yes, it does appear to be so. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. It is Beyond Authentic, and I am here to do some tarot reading, to have a lovely calming thing and everything. However, as you can probably hear in the background, or maybe not now because it's just stopped, it is bonfire night here in the UK. So if you don't know what bonfire night is a tradition that was started after a chap called Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament. I know, right? It's almost like January 6th for the Americans, right? It's almost the same sort of thing. He was plotting to overthrow government. He put a load of gunpowder underneath the Houses of Parliament and was caught at the last minute and didn't blow up the Houses of Parliament, right? So for some reason, he is remembered by fireworks and by bonfires. I think he might have been burnt at the stake or something. I don't know. But anyway, I can't remember what it was about. But there's three traditions, a few traditions, I'll say, that the UK has around this Guy Fawkes chap. So we have a big bonfire. So that's a thing. And generally you have like community bonfires. So they're quite cool normally. You also get to have something called Penny for the Guy. Right. And this is where traditionally young people, kids, children, the young uns, they would go outside, right, and they would stuff a pair of your mum's tights with newspaper, put them in a pair of trousers, and then put a t-shirt on or a jacket on, and then put some sort of mask or make a head or something, and then they would basically prop him up like somewhere on the ground, like he was basically like he was a drunk, right? So they'd prop him up. So you've just got this like this, right? Oh, I froze. I know, right? What am I meant to freeze? But yeah, so you get them propped up, and then the kids go, penny for the guy, missus, penny for the guy, and you're supposed to give them a pen, coppers. I saw this happening outside of Tesco's on sometime this week, and there were two kids, and there was no guy. They were just sat on the floor on a blanket going, penny for the guy, and I was like, where's your guy? I've also seen it in past years where they've got a third kid who's dressed up with a Halloween mask on, and that kid just sits there motionless like this, and they put gloves on them, and then the kid just sits there, and then the other two kids are going, penny for the guy, mister, penny for the guy, penny for the guy, mister, penny for the guy. So yeah, so that's a tradition. There's also toffee apples, which is where you get an apple and you cover it in hardened sugar. So it's like trying to eat concrete, but it's an apple inside, complete with worm if you're lucky. And then I guess the most important bonfire tradition, well, there's two more big important ones. One is fireworks. So everybody goes and buys fireworks and lets them off. So hundreds and thousands of pounds, so much for a cost of living crisis. I'm telling you, all of the neighbours around here, and we do not live on an affluent area, but all of the neighbours around here have obviously gone bonkers, and we've got lots and lots and lots of fireworks going off all around. So our dogs aren't best pleased. So that's one tradition. The other tradition is you can't do it now unless it's your own bonfire in your own garden. You used to get a potato, right, and you wrap it in tin foil, aluminum foil. Sorry, I don't know what that was. But you wrap them in tin foil and bung them into the bonfire, right? And then as the bonfire burns down and it all goes like to embers and it starts to go quiet, you get a stick and you try and hook your potato out of the ash, out of the hot ash. And if you could manage to hook a potato, then you would eat that potato for you. That was your supper. Now, recently, now they've got community bonfire events. You're not allowed to do that anymore. They frown upon you putting a potato in the fire. Maybe because local Scally kids would often throw an aerosol can in the fire, which it doesn't so much bake as it explodes. So that's what traditionally happens here in the UK for the 5th of November. We've even got a rhyme. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. And then it goes on with something else. I can't remember. But yes, so that's what's been happening. So good evening to, let's have a look at who is here today. Mitch S. You're so happy to have caught at a decent hour. I know. Hi there. Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Melinda. Hello, my darling. Hello, our Patricia, the our lovely moderator, our granny witch. Time change, instead of 11 a.m. it's noon. That's because our clocks went back, forward, full spring forward, full back. Our clocks went back. Yes, I know, right? Mic check. Make sure your bell is dinged and change your settings to all, Melinda. That's really important. YouTube's got this really wonderful habit of unsubscribing people and unchecking their bells. So have a double check that is actually on. It should be. I haven't changed anything my end, so it absolutely should be on. Why celebrate him? Were people happy about it? I think they celebrate the fact that the plot was foiled. I think that's the thing that's celebrated. So it's almost like, hurrah, we caught him before he blew up Parliament. But it's also like V for Vendetta. There is that element behind that of wanting to change the system. And the UK is very good at wanting to change that. We all want to change the system in the UK. I don't know whether you know this. Everybody in England, in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland and the territories and all of that lot, we all want to overthrow the system, but we're all lazy and apathetic, and so nobody even votes in this country. It's not like literally our opposition party have just been having a huge election for leader, and I know, oh hang on, she's called Kemi something. All I know is that the Conservatives now have a black female leader. So hopefully America will follow suit. Yes, that's politics. No more politics. Thank you very much. But yes, he's Guy Fawkes. We as Silly Kid made a guy and used to burn him. Yep, that's what you do. You burn him as an effigy. You're in South Africa and you did the same. There you are then, you see. The local council have cancelled the annual firework display here. So everybody seems to be having a private display. Yep. Absolutely, that is the same here, my darling. That is the same here. We have got, like, I don't know whether you can hear it. It literally sounds like I'm oh my god, what was she called back in the 90s? There was that Kate AD, that's it. She used to be a war reporter, so she'd be in like Iraq and that, and there'd be the bombs and the of the sniper bullets going over, and should be reporting with a BBC microphone like this, going, "Oh yeah, it's terrible," and you'd see the missiles flying overhead. That's what I feel like. I mean, it's obviously not, because it's not anything like that, but honest to God, it is really, really loud. Like just constant. So yeah, and knowing our neighbours around here, it'll probably go on for hours and hours and hours and hours. Let me have a look. Queen Von Shay Tarot, hello, my darling. I hope you are well. Nanette's here. Hello, Nanette. Nanette's Blood Rose Horror Nightmare. Good evening to you, my darling. I hope you are well. Neil's here. Good evening, Neil. I know, right? The fireworks are going absolutely bonkers. Democracy and free speech is in very short supply in the UK. No, it's not. Everybody's got free speech in the UK. You just can't be a racist piece of shit, which is good. The crackers are driving your poor pups crackers. Oh, is that like firecrackers? We don't really have those over here. I think it's the one thing we don't have. We have all the bang, bang, bang ones, and we have the ones that go pop, all of that. I know, look at me doing fire, and we have the Catherine wheels. We don't really have firecrackers as such, as they are like in the States, because they look like almost batteries on a tied together with string around the middle or something, and then you light them and they go. Yeah, we don't have those over here. Kate Adie's books are awesome. Really, I can imagine. Actually, I can imagine. She was an amazing personage. So yes, she really was. Good evening, Necrobeal. I know what you mean. So yeah, lucky us that we don't have firecrackers. Also, luckily for most of us in the UK, fireworks are only available at this time of year normally, and New Year. But the prices this year are absolutely astronomical. So I don't know what people have done in this area. They must have been donating blood and getting their, £5 for donating blood or donating other bodily fluids. Anyway, that is all to explain the noises in the background. If you can hear all the pop, bang, pop, pop, pops going off, I always want to go, bang, crash, wallet, what a picture, what a photograph, bang, crash, wallet, what a picture. I don't know where that's from. She was also a foundling. I didn't know that. Gosh, Patricia, you are the root of all knowledge. You really, really, really are. We have Diwali. We do Chinese New Year. Not where I am now, but in town, where we've got there is a little mini sort of China town. So it's not really at all, but there are places that do that. Christmas and New Year's Eve and Day. Yeah, we have all of that celebrated as well, and fireworks for most of it. You're not feeling good today and it's got you depressed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can cheer you up today as we go along. I do have, the reason I was off in the week isn't because I was off gallivanting. I do actually have some cellulitis. So I've got a poorly leg. I'm supposed to be resting it. It's supposed to be risen up above my head. Chance to be a fine thing. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't mean I do mean that, but you know what I mean. In a good way. No, that would be it. No, shut up, Lisa. You're getting embarrassed and flustered. You know what I'm trying to say. So if my leg is down on the ground, it like sitting in a chair, it might get painful later, so I might end up cutting the stream slightly short. But we'll see. Good evening, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Happy Diwali to you, my darling. If you are celebrating, I love Diwali, the festival of lights. We've got a huge Diwali. What's the word I'm looking for? Celebration. Normally, not far from here. There's sort of lots of different ethnic areas we have in Leeds, and there's normally a big Diwali celebration. So that's good. I'm glad we make you feel better. Good evening to Holland. Look, a member for 6 months. You've got your shiny new color on your doodah, and you've got lovely hug face or whatever that is. I can't see what the emoji is. Oh, excuse me. Raise your leg and ice it, please. I've been on antibiotics all week. I've just been given a second week and I have been raising it, but tonight is the first time that we're going to try a live stream with me leg down, so we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Mitch, the Hindu. Yes, it is a Hindu celebration, Diwali. It's so festive and celebratory. That's the word I was trying to say. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's your fibro playing up. Trust me, I know the feeling. This week I have been fibroed out. Anyway, it's quarter past. Let's crack on with some tarot readings, shall we? So, a bit of news on the channel. I have a whole load of spells designed to start doing some videos for, like loads of spell candle rituals. They're all linked in with the Witches Road website, so if you haven't checked that out yet, do please check it out, witchesroad.co.uk. It's I need to put it on a doodah, don't I, so it comes up on screen. It's an educational site. There's lots and lots of downloads, PDF files and everything else, and we are I'm working on the video content that's going to go up there. So there will be a lot of candle magic spells. It really is difficult to keep talking whilst the entire neighborhood is going pop bang bang pop whistle, bonkers, absolutely bonkers. But yes, there will be a lot of videos coming for that. I'm just working them all out, and I have been doing other things related to that website as well, so do have a little look see. Health first, everything else second. Yep, I know. That's trust me, I know. You're heading to physical therapy, so you'll try to get in next time. Bye everyone. Bye Melinda, my darling. Hope you are well and hope you have a good physical therapy. You managed to get hold of an out of print tarot deck, Tarot of the Northern Shadows. Don't think off the top of my head it isn't ringing a bell, but I've got loads more that I need to review again. Hi Jay, hello, hope you're well. You're on the tail end of a 4-day migraine. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's probably me when I was ringing you for an hour and 20 minutes talking at you. I know, right? It's a family thing. We all get migraines. It's our superior brains, you see, Jay. That's what it is. Our superior brains in our well, not in all of the family. In you and me in the family, our superior brains. That's what it is. Yeah, just us, just the two of us. Anyway, let's crack on with some tarot reading because we are losing people as we're talking nonsense. So we are going to do some readings tonight. Now, if you're brand new here and you haven't come in and said hello in the chat, do feel free. We don't bite. It's one of my favorite communities anywhere on YouTube. It's a really, really, really lovely community where we do actually support one another and care for one another, look out for one another. And I'm really, really, really proud about that. So welcome if you are new here. If you are new here, then this is quite an important little clip. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. Yes, and as I always say, that last bit's really important. Do protect your online privacy, okay? It's really, really, really important. Protect your online privacy at all times. And that doesn't just mean don't give anybody your password. Even to say, if you put in the chat, oh, hi, everyone, I am living next to the great big red house on the corner. That's great, except somebody might be able to work out from your account that you live in, I don't know, we'll say Springfield. There you go. You live in Springfield where they eat the cats and the dogs. But you live in Springfield, right? and you put in the chat, oh, I live on the I've just moved into the big red house opposite the library. It's such a lovely building. I'm really glad to have it. I won't have a clue where you are, but probably I could go on Google, have a look at all the different Springfields across the US, have a little look at Springfield, see if there's a library, see if there's a red house opposite. Oh, no, not in this one. What about this one? Not in this one. Oh, there is on this one. And then all of a sudden, I know where you live. And then all it takes is for you to put in the chat a couple of weeks later, oh, I'm off on my holiday tomorrow, for me to go, oh, you're off on your holiday and I know where you live. That means your house is empty. Maybe. Put on me burglar costume, you know, me tights over my head and me stripy jumper and me swag bag, and away I come to burgle you. Just be careful. It's not just passwords. Right, we've got a super chat in from OAG. Good evening, OAG. What is going to happen between you and Merv? Okay, I will do that for you. As always on this channel, when we get a super chat in, that takes the first slot. So that is going to take the first slot tonight. Just before, you could do with some free hugs. Do you know what? If you were here in person in the UK, I might even take you up on that. I'm not really a hugger, but I do like free hugs. Free hugs are good. You can't deal with school. Wow, that's, I mean, you know, I get that. Barely able to deal with college the past few days. I'm really sorry, Jay. Really, it's not good. Finally managed to get some painkillers earlier. They're not as good as your usual ones, but you've kicked it down to a bad headache. That's good. That's something. That's a good start. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Yes, it's not great having to resit maths for no bloody reason because you got a pass in high school, but because I have no proof, they're making you redo it. Really? Wow. Okay, you're a Taurus and Merv is a Scorpio. I don't do star signs, my darling, so that isn't really going to make any difference whatsoever to your tarot reading. And the reason I don't do star signs is because I can't remember them. Basically that is the reason. But you've got a choice tonight because we're still in spooky season and because the veil is still thin. I can pull you an oracle card as well as your tarot. I can either pull you a Season of the Witch or a Intuitive Insights oracle card. So let me know which you would rather have, a Season of the Witch or an Intuitive Insights. Right then, so I'm going to do your reading, OA, in just 17 seconds time. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to change the cameras and everything, and I'll be with you in 17 seconds.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
And I'm back. Right then. So yeah, I was just saying I have lit my green candle in the background for healing for anybody who needs it, not just myself. Right then. So let's just make sure that this is all lined up nice and easy for you. There we go. Sorry if anybody's made seasick. There we go. So using the Rainbow Tarot again, I like this deck. Do you know, when I reviewed it, I wasn't that fussed on it. But the more I use it, the more it feels gently honest. Do you know what I mean? It feels gently honest to me. It feels like it's like the Fifth Spirit, but it doesn't feel quite as blunt. It feels a little bit it's a little bit gentler, but it is a very honest deck, so I'm loving it at the moment. As always, we cleanse the space before the readings, and I will bring in Wispy, who is the air elemental dragon. I don't know whether you can hear that too loudly where you are, but just bringing that in and we are going to pop that one on screen. Come on, pop it on screen. Thank you very much. So then, Wispy, we are looking for a reading for OAG, and we are wanting to know what will happen between them and Merv. Okay, so OAG, oh, let me just see. OAG was a Taurian, I believe, and Merv is a Duda, a Scorpio, just in case you need that, Wispy. Right then, let's have, oh gosh, I'm dropping everything. There we go. So we're going to do you, I don't know how much 269 TRIs are, but I will do you a 6-card reading. Also, let me know, everybody, if you want me to start using the bread from the Agatha All Along. There was a tarot reading featured in that series, and there was a really interesting spread that was used. So if you want me to have a go at that, I can do that on Sunday evening. So then let's have a look. So what will happen between you and Merv? We're going to do an inverted triangle. So here we go. We've got the past, the present, and effectively the future. So we've got the Hanged Man in the past, the present, we've got the 9 of Wands, and the Star reversed in the future, linking them together. So how we go from the Hanged Man to the 9 of Wands? We go there via the Page of Swords reversed. How do we go from the 9 of Wands to the Star? We go with the 9 of Cups reversed. Interesting. And then what is the root of the relationship? We've got the 6 of Pentacles. Right then, so let's have a look. The Hanged Man in the past position. Hangman talks about sacrifice. It talks about waiting for the right time, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right knowledge when it comes up, if that makes sense. So what it's talking about is basically this figure represents Odin hanging on the tree of life, waiting for the knowledge of the runes. Okay, so he's waiting, he's going to be given that knowledge, and they're sacrificing their you know, their day to day in order to get that knowledge. You can see here we've got a bird that is quite happily sat on their knee, or on their sort of leg. The rope here isn't tied, there's no knots, so there's no, it's just they've just slung their foot through it. And in fact, always with the Hangman, if you look, they're quite happy. That is not a grimace, that is not an upset person, that is someone happy to be there. So they are happily sacrificing their freedom and their time at the moment for the greater good, right? So when that comes into a relationship between you and Merv, it feels like there is a it feels like there is a connection here that might have taken a while for it to get going. Does that make sense? So it's almost like you waited to make contact, or if you haven't got that, if it isn't a built-up relationship yet, then it's kind of like you're in that waiting zone, waiting for that initial oomph to start, if that makes sense. In the present, we've got the 9 of Wands. Now this tells me that I think I wouldn't be surprised at the moment if the two of you weren't on friend terms rather than relationship terms, because Wands is very much about security. It's your sense of self, it's how you feel about yourself, it's your confidence, it's your self-esteem, all of those good things. And the 9 is very full. I always say the 9 is full and the 10 is overflowing. So in this case, there's a lot of confidence and there's a lot of trust between the two of you at the moment, right? And that is incredibly positive. It isn't in the sort of relationship zone, if you like. It is very much in that sort of platonic kind of trust, but it does kind of hint at the fact that it could go that way. It could go into a relationship because you've got that solid foundation there between the two of you. If you have already had some sort of relationship connection, then again, it feels like that trust element is really, really rooted. It's like, I don't know whether you've been through a lot together, but it's kind of that sort of vibe where, you know, two people bond sometimes through hardship, and sometimes that bond, whether that is friends, whether that is family, whether that is, you know, a relationship partner, that bond can be super tight through any kind of hardship or any kind of difficulty. So it does feel like that trust is there between you, but as I say, it kind of feels like this is more on the in the friend zone, rather than it being anything where there's like where the two of you are currently together. Does that make sense? It's like if it had been the Nine of Cups up there, it would have been that would have given it that romantic edge, that romantic feeling, but it feels very much friend zoned, for want of a better word. In the future period, we've got the Star reversed. Now, this is where I'm wondering exactly what this Hanged Man represents, because in the past, that sacrifice in the past, I don't know whether this is, sorry, these fireworks are really difficult for me to concentrate on what's being said, because I don't like the loud bangs. But anyway, the Hangman in the past is almost suggesting that there was, how can I put it? It's almost like there was a deeper connection, and then now you've settled into something friend zoned. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like Ross and Rachel, where they were together and then they worked for the longest time. They worked well as sort of mutual friends that had that connection because they'd been together. And it's almost like the sacrifice card is almost saying that one of you either stepped aside, or one of you kind of recognized that actually you might be better off as buddies rather than bed buddies. Does that make sense? Reason I'm saying that is because the Star brings in the idea of wishful thinking and wishing on a star, and this idea for me of, you know, wanting something that you can't have, wanting something that that isn't quite tangible, it's not quite within reach. And when she's reversed, it's literally like you're wasting wishes here. So when you say what will happen between you, it's almost like, gosh, I don't know whether you can hear these fireworks in the background. They are relentless. But it's almost like with the Star reversed, it's like one of you is wishing for something and the other isn't. Does that make sense? So it's like whatever this sacrifice was, if I say it feels one-sided, I don't know whether, you know, you were chasing Merv or Merv was chasing you. You know, it just feels like it feels like, how can I put it? It feels like you're friends and one caught feelings, right? Or you're friends with benefits and one caught feelings. And actually that trust element is there when you're not jumping in and out of bed with each other, and you get on better as two people that know each other really well because you were that close, because you had that relationship. But again, this Star in this sacrifice almost makes me feel like one of you wished it had gone on into a full-blown hearts and flowers and romance and, you know, wow, and everything being all romantical. Let's go down a level, let's get deeper. We've got two reverse cards, so again it kind of feels like somebody didn't get what they want. So between the Hangman and the Nine of Wands, to have the Page of Swords, pages are youthful energy and swords is obstacles, challenge and strife. So this almost tells me that one of you was almost either too young or too childlike, too childish, to have that relationship become something deeper. It could also be that one of you wasn't mature enough to say, actually, I don't want to be just friends with benefits. I really want us to, you know, be together, move in together, get married, do the whole 9 yards. It could be that. But because it's that youthful energy and because it's reversed, we're talking about a massive stumbling block that was put into place. And again, it feels like one of you caught feelings that the other one maybe didn't share as deep. And that's why even now it's like, I don't know whether you've got a crush on Merv or Merv has a crush on you, but it's almost like you're friends, but secretly one of you is crushing. Does that make sense? Because we've also got at this same level, this underpinning level, going from the 9 of Wands into this wishing. What are you wishing for? You're wishing for the 9 of Cups. You're wishing for that. Again, 9 is full. Cups is the suit of relationships. It's the suit of emotions. It's the suit of lovers. That is the suit that we talk about. Okay. So the fact that this is coming up in the deeper level, and it's between where you are with this trust and the wish, it's like one of you has feelings that the other doesn't share, and I think they're quite intense. And when I say crush, it really does feel like that. It really does feel like there's that imbalance in the relationship in terms of, you know, you get along really well together and you're a really good unit together, but one of you is still hoping and wishing that it was more than that. And I'm guessing, because you're the one asking the question, I'm guessing that you are the one that has feelings for Merv that maybe aren't fully reciprocated. In the root of everything, we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Now, traditionally, Pentacles is work, career, finances. I always say as well that it's because it's the earth element in the tarot deck, it also talks about growth. So when we're talking about Pentacles and bringing earth energy in, we're also talking about that growth energy, wanting things to blossom, wanting things to improve. The 6 is really interesting because the 6 talks about community. Sometimes this can be seen as helping other people, like donating to people, helping people financially, giving alms to the poor. And quite often in a tarot deck, it will be related to some sort of helping out. In this case, it almost feels like I think the root here is actually talking about going public with a relationship and wanting to, you know, do the whole oh, thank you, Wispy. Wispy is giving me an image of oh, what's his face? Ewan McGregor in what's the doodah? What's the film? Moulin Rouge. You know, where he's singing all the love songs because he's fallen for the courtesan, and he's trying to woo her. That's what this kind of feels like. It feels like you're wanting to jump up and down and, you know, tell Merv how you feel and do all of this, but it's almost like, you know, that Merv doesn't share that feeling at the moment. And so this is coming back to this unrequited sort of love connection. It does feel, as much as it feels raw with the emotions here with the 9, it does feel as if you are better friends than you would be anything else. So I again, with this Hangman card, it's not particularly clear if you've been together in the past and then worked out that actually you're better friends, or whether you haven't crossed that line and have always been friend zoned. I would think, seeing how we've got the page with that almost childlike tripping over yourself type energy, and we've got the 9 here reversed, I would think, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say you've probably been in some kind of, you've shared a bed for more than just sleeping in, put it that way, would be my guess. I hope that helps. Listen, it doesn't feel particularly oh shit, I'm just going to say it. It doesn't feel like you've got a future where the two of you will absolutely 100% be together, okay, as partners. But it does feel like you've got a very, very, very strong friendship connection and a love that transcends that physical thing. Okay, so it may well be that you don't have a future relationship together where you're married with kids and all of that, but it may well be that you are each other's, you know, platonic rock. I did say I would cast you an oracle card as well. Now, you did say you wanted an oracle, so I'm guessing you mean these ones. So let me have a look. If you wanted the Season of the Witch cards, I'm sorry about that, but you did say oracle, and I think you meant these. So we'll see. Let's have a look. So I'm going to cut the deck there, and your oracle card, transformation. So this is talking about, I think this is where you need to transform your understanding of the relationship, if that makes sense. So transform those feelings from being, I really love you and want to shag your brains out. Do you know what I mean? And want to, you know, I want us to get married and do all of those things, into, I am going to be your absolute best friend. I'm going to be the person that is there for you. I'm going to be, you know, I am going to be your rock. And we may both end up with partners, we may not, but I will be there, you know, as your support mechanism. And I think if you transform those feelings, I think that, you know, the pain of this Nine of Cups will ease. I hope that helps, OA. I really do. And thank you ever so much for your question. Right then, let me have a look in the live chat. There we go. And over to there, because I don't have the chat up when I'm reading. Oh, thank you for that. I've just seen that you've asked another question about who will be your next girlfriend. I don't know how to answer that. I don't think the tarot can answer that, because of the way tarot works. It can. I don't think it's possible to answer a question that detailed, because the person that you might end up with may not be in your life right now, and so they may not be showing up in that way. And because we do tarot and not because we do tarot and it's not like mediumship or anything like that, I won't necessarily be given a name. I can certainly, if you give me, I can't refund monies either on here. I'll tell you what, give me 30 seconds or so, and I will try and I'll see if I can read something for you. Okay, so bear with me 1 second. I am going to need to grab my coffee, which is just in the other room. What would be a proper question? Can you help me on that? It's Mitch, you know, I don't use star signs. If you're I can do you a reading where we look to see if there is a love influence coming your way, or if you need to, what you need to do to prepare for a love influence, things like that. Absolutely, I can do that. I guess at the moment, my guess is at the moment, OA, that you are, if you've got those feelings for Merv, then you really need to let those feelings die off, let those feelings go, before anybody else can come in, right? Does that make sense? Because if you are harboring a desire for someone, and you've got a crush on that person, and you're still hankering after them and thinking about them in that way, you're not going to have space in your life for anybody else to come in right now. So it's almost like even if you met somebody in the supermarket randomly tomorrow, you might not recognize that as a meet cute. You might not recognize that as a connection, because you're too busy thinking about, oh well, I still like Merv. I want Merv to be my partner. I want Merv. I will do you. Okay. I will do you. What would be the best way of putting this? Thank you, Patricia. I guess the best way of putting this would be, I tell you what I'll do. We'll look at with a 3 card. We'll look at whether or not, how can I put it? We'll look at, this is what we'll do, right? With a 3 card reading, my darling, we'll look at who or what energy is coming to you in love, right? What is your love energy for the next 6 weeks, right? We'll do that. That makes sense. So we'll see if there's going to be any change to what it is that you've been experiencing with Merv, and we'll see if there's any other sort of emotions in there, if that helps. Right, let me have a look. So then, Wispy, it is for OAG again. Everybody, do please, if you're wanting a tarot reading, get ready, put your questions, get ready to type them out into the live chat. After I've done this reading for OA, we will be doing a free round. Okay, so if you are wanting a reading, and you're wanting to put your name in the hat for a free reading, that will be coming up after this reading for OAG. So hopefully that makes sense, everybody. Hold on briefly until I've done this one, and then we'll get a free round going. So then, Merv, gosh. So then, OA, let's have a look. Wispy, OAG would like to know what the love energy is coming, if there's any love energy coming their way in the next few weeks. Okay, that's specifically what we're looking for. Is there love energy coming? Let's have a look, Wispy. So then, we'll do the drop. Ooh, it's a low drop. A very low drop. Right then, so where you are, what you need to know, and the future opportunity. So all 3 cards are reversed, which is interesting in and of itself. So this is saying that I think there is, I bloody fireworks. I think there is some stuff for you to deal with first, some stuff for you to work with, specifically because we've got the Page of Swords again. So there is something here that the Page of Swords is trying to tell you. It came up in the previous reading, it's come up in this one again, and both times it's come up reversed. Now the page is youthful energy. Okay, so this is that almost teenage but not quite teenage vibe of feelings. So again, I don't know whether you're quite innocent. I don't know how old you are, but this is giving almost sort of first love, virginal, sort of very young love type energy, basically. But the swords is what is the issue, because the swords are literally obstacles and challenges. So this is saying that where you are right now in terms of your love life, it's youthful behavior that is blocking you. However, this might not be that you are acting childish. Because this is reversed, it may well be that something you are doing is inadvertently giving off childish vibes. Okay, so it's almost like any potential partner, anybody who is maybe interested, when they come within your sphere, what they're kind of experiencing is, oh my god, you're so childish. Like, you know what I mean? It's that, just they've got that vibe that maybe you aren't mature enough to handle a relationship yet. That the fact that the pages come up in both readings, and you saw me shuffle and everything else, and I shoved it, I think I shoved them all in the opposite way around to the way they turned up. I never know because I can't ever remember, but it's come up again. So, and it's telling me this in this position, it's where you are. So this is what you need to focus on. It may well be that you, I'm not, oh gosh, I was about to say, I'm not saying you've got no riz. I'm 48 years old and I just used the word riz. I'm not saying that you don't have any riz, right? But it may well be. God, I spend too much time on YouTube. Skibbity. But it may well be that the way that you come across to somebody who is a potential partner, it may be that you need to work on that a little bit. Maybe try and be more open, be more yourself, rather than, trying to be anything else. What you need to know position, we've got the 7 of Wands reversed. Now, this is talking about difficult decisions, because Wands, 7s are tough choices, but this is in terms of your defense. Now, I'm wondering, with this coming up after the Page of Swords, I'm wondering if you get defensive when you meet somebody, whether there is a defensive sort of thing that kicks in. Maybe you've been hurt in a previous relationship, and as soon as anybody gets close, your heckles go up, and that shuts down, the barriers come down, and you're automatically then almost pushing people away. Does that make sense? That's genuinely what it feels like with this card, that actually, you're on the defensive realm, you're on that defensive foot too soon, before there's any red flags, before there's any warnings, before there's any hint of anything going wrong. You're kind of in there shutting it down before anything's got any chance. And then the future opportunity at the moment, it's showing strength reverse. Now, this isn't saying a lack of courage or a lack of strength, but it is saying that perhaps the strength card, how can I got these bloody fireworks? The strength card can both mean physical strength, but also emotional strength. So I think this is really hinting at, you need to be a little bit more sure of yourself, and maybe be a bit, hang on, Wispy, what is that, Wispy? What is that? Be a bit more confident, be a bit more self-assured, but also maybe take a few more risks. Maybe take risks with your heart, right? I'm somebody who wears my heart on my sleeve. Now, the thing with doing that, it becomes a very easy target. It also means people can see, what people see, they get. Do you know what I mean? I don't hide, and I don't tend to bullshit people in real life as well as on the internet. The reason the channel is called Beyond Authentic is all linked into that. It's one of those things that I believe very passionately about, is if you never tell a bunch of lies, you don't have to remember which bunch of lies you told to which person. And so being authentic is the much easier way to live. However, that takes bravery, that takes strength, because you're going to get knocked back. And maybe that's similar to what this card is saying to you, my darling. Embrace that inner strength of being true to you and not having to worry about, having that safety barrier in place. As soon as somebody gets close, you shut them down. I think that's really, this strength card is really the thing you need to really, really work on. Having that strength to be honestly and authentically you, whilst also, being open to all sorts of new experiences without immediately trying to shut it down. I'm going to pull you an oracle card as well, my darling. So we'll have a look, and let's see. We'll go with, Honestly, you'd think they'd have stopped by now. Blessings. So this, for me, this would be count your blessings, right? Count your blessings. Affirmations. Look at what you've got to offer in a relationship, right? What do you bring to the table? If you are looking for a new partner, what have you got to offer that new partner? Maybe you're really funny. Maybe you're really caring. Maybe you give a mean foot massage. Maybe you make the best lasagna this side of Milan. You know what I mean? Whatever the things are that you have got within you that you can offer a partner, work on that. Present that. This idea of this sort of youthful insecurity, work on those positive things that you've got that you bring to the table. So when you do meet someone, you don't just go, hello, hi, my name is Gavin and I give great foot massages. I would love to give you a foot mass while I force feed you my lasagna. Don't do that. That's not a good thing, right? But be confident about the things that you bring to the table, right? In terms of your blessings, that was a big one. What blessings do you bring to a future partner? Okay, my darling. Again, it doesn't feel like there is love energy coming in anytime soon, because I think you need to clear out the energy with Merv first, but also this is the most important card out of both because this has come up twice. Okay, so work on this, my darling. Work on this idea of maybe maturing, and part of maturing and part of being a grown up and an adult is having that confidence to maybe be yourself a little bit. Hope that helps, my sweet. I really do. Thank you ever so much for your question. And yeah, I hope that helps. Right then, let me move the camera. So let me have a look in that there chat. 48 years young. I know, right? Lynette, you tried to do a reading on yourself, but it's showing you stuff you didn't ask for. Can someone tell you why? Because it's stuff you need to know. May not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to know. That's how tarot works, my darling. Especially if you're reading for yourself, because you can't lie. You can't lie to the cards. So yeah. In a nutshell, love yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no problem. The first card confuses you because it's death, and what it means to you is change. Do you need to die to live? The second card, what? Do you need to die to live? No, you don't need to die to live. The second card is the Page of Swords reversed, which means it's going to be a fight to do it. It's almost impossible to read for someone else's cards because I don't know what the question you were asking was. I don't know what the deck is, and because as an intuitive reader, I get the knowledge from the cards as I'm reading them. It's almost impossible to do that basically. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else in the chat can help. Good evening, Nida. Good evening to you, my darling. Hello, welcome. Thank you very much for the name change. At least this one I can pronounce. Absinthe, good evening to you as well. I've just seen you further back in the chat. Right then, shall we have a free round? I think we shall. Let's open up the rounds. So then, for the no, that one. Here we go. Yay! So the round is open. So please do go ahead and pop your question in that there chat, starting with the word question, or you can send your question through as a super chat. But pop it into the chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get chosen at random. Now, do remember you must be 18 years of age or over to ask a question in the chat. And also, please remember this is live on the interwebs. Something you put out there on the interwebs today could still be out there in many weeks or months to come, or years to come. So do make sure you look after your own internet security. But there you go. Pop your questions in the live chat. Go ahead and do those now. And the keeper of the questions will select one for me straight after this. Okay, let's have a look. Keeper of the questions. Who have we got there in that there? Who have we got selected? Marie. Hold on a second. Where's Marie? Marie Rogers. Hello, my darling. I hadn't seen you come in. Question. Your sister and I are looking at starting our own business. Anything we should know? Buy low, sell high. Isn't that what they say? I don't mean sell when you've had a smoke or a gummy, because I think those are, if you're in the States, those are legal in some of the states. But I don't mean like that when I say sell, buy low, sell high. Anyway, I'm confusing myself. All right, Neil. See you later, my darling. We need to sort out a date for the filming for the doodah as well, for the pod. But yes, absolutely. Have fun, Neil, and I will speak to you soon. Right then, Marie, your reading is going to come up in exactly and precisely 15 seconds. So, as always, we ring the bell to cleanse the working area, and we bring in the always lovely Wispy. So then, Wispy, Marie Rogers would like to know, her and her sister are looking at starting their own business. Is there anything they should know? Is there anything Marie and her sister should know when they're starting their own business? Let's have a look. You'll have to let us know in the chat. I don't read the chat when I'm actually doing a reading, but let us know in the chat, Marie, what type of business it is. Because we're all nosy buggers here. I say that every week, every stream, but it's true. We are. Right then, let's have a look. So where you are in your life, what you need to know, and what the future opportunities are. Interesting. So where you are right now, 7 of Cups, lots and lots and lots of choices. There are gifts. These card represents gifts that are being offered, and you've got to choose which you want to select. Now, what that genuinely means, or generally, means, is that actually you're in a place of fortune right now. So you're in a place of good luck, good momentum, and you are able to you're able to pick and choose, right? So you've got the ability here to actually choose where you want to go, what you want to do, and you've got these different options. Cups is your emotional suit, okay? So this is saying it feels like there are different options available within sort of what it exactly is that you want to do in business. I'm not saying like obviously you've got an idea what you want to do, whether it's consultancy work for spacecraft, or whether it's selling flowers in a market. Very different things. And but even within that consultancy or those for selling flowers, there are choices to be made, and there are ways and means of doing things. And that's, I think, what this card is representing. It's saying that there are, whatever road you go down, you've got some potentially really positive choices to make, but there might be one or two surprises, because we've got, like, this represents a house, this is jewels, we've got a laurel wreath here, so it's representative. I know it's a bit difficult to see, but a laurel wreath, which is representing winning. We've got a dragon, which of course with my lovely Wispy is something I would pick. We've also got a mask, a spooky goosey, and a snake. Now, you might be somebody who really hates snakes, so you wouldn't pick that. But you might also be somebody who adores snakes and recognizes this is the lesser spotted pink and blue snake from Madagascar. And actually, it's a sign of luck, and they are worth £10 million each. Do you know what I mean? I might look at it and go, snake. Whereas you might look at it and go, but that's a very unique type of snake. And it's all this. And it's about having those choices and having the wisdom to make the right decision. And that's where the 7 comes in. It's about trying to find the wisdom to get the right, to choose the right path, to choose the right option, right? Because of the cups element, it's almost like you need to follow your heart, but even following your heart, there are still options. And I think that's something that you're going to need to tie down before you move forward, right? You need to make those decisions. In the what you need to know, this is phenomenal. Phenomenal. This is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is all about brand new beginnings for the Ace, new start, new project, new venture. And Pentacles is work, career, finances. So business. This is saying that what you need to know, this is very, very well suited. This is very, very much on the cards. This is a very positive element coming up. It's confirming that you are doing the right thing. You are absolutely on the right path to be doing the right thing here. Again, I don't think I even need to elaborate on this, because it is such a positive card for somebody who is wanting and aiming to start a new business. This is saying literally go for it. You've got, like, the stars are aligning, and it's the 17th moon in the 15th quarter of Uranus, or whatever the hell, any, you know, all of that mythological, and you've picked up, you know, ye oldie book of Nostradamus, and it says on this day in November of 2024, someone called Marie and their sister will start a business very soon, and lo, it shall be spectacular, or whatever, right? This is good. This is, everything's aligning for you, my darling. And in the what you need to know, we've got the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is again, this is emotion. So if there is anything tied in with, if the business becomes emotional, if there is something here linked into that emotional caring side, or anything in terms of a nurturing element to the business, go for it. The Queen is somebody who is very nurturing in and of herself. She's very caring, very loving, but she's also somebody who is quite authoritative, right? So she would be a business owner. She might not be the king, she might not be the one in absolute final charge, but she's the power behind the king's throne. So this is saying that whether you take a back seat to your sister is almost neither here nor there in the business, because actually it's like you'll both be owners together. It's really good card. As I say, if there is anything in terms of you need to nurture or care for either your sister along the way, or for the business along the way, or if it's like, if there's anything involving child rearing, or you know, hospital care, or anything in those terms, medicines, then absolutely go for it, because she is such a wonderful card in terms of, you know, who she is as a person. She's a very, very caring and giving person. So I think this is absolutely, like, go for it. There's going to be some decisions that you've got no negative cards. There's no sword cards, which I would expect starting a business. So there's nothing, you know, saying there's going to be any massive pullbacks, any massive holdbacks. You've got two cards that are all about your emotions, and one that is absolutely confirming to go for that new start in business. I'm going to pull you one of these, which are the Witch Casket Intuitive Insights Oracle cards. They are shaped like coffins because it came out in October, so of course spooky season, but they are very, very quick and simple. And joy, there you go. There you go. Do I need to say more? This is very, very well suited. This is very, very much on the cards. Joy is coming your way. This is going to make you happy. This is going to bring happiness and joy into your lives, right? Absolutely go for it, my darling. Whatever this business is, let us know about it. If it's something we can, share in the chat and have people go and look at in our community, please do. Please let us know what the website details are. You can't type the website in because it will get blocked, but you can always do you can spell the word dot and then com. That's always a way around it on the YouTubes, but absolutely go for it, my darling. It will bring you joy. That's really positive. That's made my There we go. And we're back. Sorry about this, everybody. The internet is a whole thing. So let me have a look. Good evening, Annette. You've got your members 6 monthly members doodah message. Hold on to your question when we open up the next round. You'll be able to pop it in then. Let me just have a wee look. Where have you gone, Marie? I've lost you. I've completely lost where you were. Wowza. Right, okay. My chat is jumping all over the place this evening. But let me scroll all the way. I'll tell you what, I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. My nibbling makes crochet items as well. There is definitely a market in it. You make crochet items and your sister paints. There is, listen, follow your heart, my darling. Follow your heart. As I was explaining to my my nibbling, there is it's difficult selling crochet items and handmade items, because to do it as a business, you have to cover business costs and you have to make a certain amount of profit, cover your taxes, cover your materials. You're always going to be competing against hobby makers who make something as a hobby and sell it on eBay or Etsy, right? You're always going to be up against those people. However, find your unique selling point. What is it that, I don't know, say it's called Rogers and Rogers. What is it that Rogers and Rogers will do differently to Joe Bloggs sat at home with some wool and a crochet needle? What can you do differently? What is it that you will put into it? Are you going to use 100% organic wool from sheep that wanted to be sheared? Are you going to make designs that are brighter or more colorful than anybody else? Or are you going to recreate crochet stitches from the 1700s? What is it that's going to be your USP, right? And hone down on that. That is what I would absolutely go for. last night that made you think of me and Rufus from the Slimming World. What made you think, oh my gosh, hello, you know us from the Slimming World channel as well? That always makes me go a little bit red in the face. I go all embarrassed and everything. But yeah, good luck. There is absolutely a market for crochet materials. 100%. Congrats to both yourself and Holland. What's congratulations for Holland? What's Holland said? Holland. Why are they congratulating you, Holland? Have I missed something? I think I've missed a whole big chunk of the chat. But anyway, you can customize to order. Yeah, that's a good thing. You made a butternut squash with a big butt. That's funny. That is funny. I like that. I can imagine it in my head, and I imagine it very rude. Anyway, shall we go on? Shall we have another round? I think we should. So then, let's go ahead and I will pop this in. Oh, hang on. Hold on 1 second. Irish crochet snoods. Very appropriate for today's long hairstyles. Suppose they are. We've never thought about that. Yeah, I quite like a snood. I am a fan of a snood. Oh, for being a 6 month doodah. Yes, 6 month members. I know, right? Can you? I've got members for 6 months. That is absolutely bonkers. Bonkers. Right then, let's go ahead. Shall we have another round? I think we should have another round. Before I do, though, I am going to whack this on because we do have memberships available. And in fact, here's a handy dandy video all about them. I secretly ran and got my coffee when that was playing. But yes, our memberships are in fact open. And we've got a few members now. And I will be, by the way, members, I will be offering a second live this week to make up for the one that I missed on Sunday. Right then, everybody. You're there as well. Oh, wow. Look, yours has popped up as well. Oh, that's so lovely. Right. Shall we have a free round? Oh gosh, I'm out of breath now. I think we should. Let's open up a free round. So then, if you would like a tarot reading, there are two ways to get one. One is to go ahead and pop your question into that. Into that their live chat, starting with the word question. The other way is to send it across as a super chat. If you pop it in as a super chat, it comes through automatically on my screen to a whole different screen, and everything makes it very much easier for me to see. And it means you get a longer reading, and also your place is then guaranteed. If you can't do a super chat or don't want to for whatever reason, then go ahead, pop your question into that their live chat, starting with the word question, to be in for an open round, to put your name in the hat to get a free reading. Either way, go ahead and do one of those things now. And here's a quick recap, just in case you're not sure what I did say. Right then, keeper of the question. I'm just pouring my coffee out. Keeper of the questions. What have we got? We've got Patricia. Let me have a look. Patricia. Oh, hang on. Patricia, you've got your question answered, or you will have temporarily. Let me just make sure I don't tip my coffee over. Patricia. There we go. Any good changes about to occur with your finances? Let's have a look, Patricia. Good evening to Elise, by the way. I haven't seen you pop in this evening, my darling. So good evening to Elise. Right then, Patricia. This reading is for you. Don't forget, if you're not Patricia, select and copy your question and get ready to pop it in for the next free round. Okay, that is what I would suggest, because we will be getting at least one more, two more, three more in before the end of this evening, as long as my leg carries on being okay. So then, let me entertain you. No, let me grab this, and your question will be coming up at exactly 17 seconds, Patricia. Don't go anywhere.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Okay, Patricia, let's have... Oh, didn't realize there was a card on the desk there. Let's have a look, my darling. So, any good changes about to occur with your finances? Before we do, let's do the usual. We ring a ding ding, and we always makes me think of what we do in the shadows. Ring a ding ding. My brain was no, let's not quote things from that program. Anyway, Wispy, my darling, bring us back to a sense of decorum. We would like to know, Wispy, is there any good financial uplift happening for Patricia soon? Any good changes about to occur with Patricia's finances? Don't forget, everybody, if you put a question in the last round and you weren't selected, just select and copy your question and get ready to paste it. That's right. Yeah, or post it very, very, very soon. So let's have a look, Patricia. Let's go for you. Come on, drop. There we go. Ooh, hang on. That was on top. There we go. They didn't get mixed up. They just fell. But there we go. Right then. So, where you are, what you need to know, and what your what your future outcome is looking like. Right, first things first, there is no pentacles, so there's no financial cards here. For the suit of pentacles or discs is related to finances, wealth, career, finances, abundance, all of those lovely things. That none of that is here, but we have got a positive card here ish. So where you are right now, we've got the Two of Swords reversed. So the Two of Swords is, for me, all about a disagreement. Oh, excuse me. A disagreement or an argument with somebody, probably somebody that you're close to. So it may well be that the financial situation you're in may well not be necessarily all down to yourself. It could be linked in with a partner or a child or a family member or a friend who you've kind of had a bit of a disagreement or a falling out with, because the Two of Swords for me is, it's literally crossed swords or crossed words. And when it's reversed, it's saying that I don't think this is something that you were necessarily aware of. It kind of feels like there was something, how can I put it? Something either behind the scenes or something a little bit, something a little bit hidden that has come to the light. Okay. And it really does feel as if there is somebody else quite closely involved or quite closely linked with whatever the financial issue has been. Does that make sense? It's like this isn't something you got yourself into by yourself. what you need to know. 1 second. Eddie, LV, Rufus. Oh, okay. I thought one of the dogs had come through. Okay. Sorry everyone. It sounded like the middle door had gone in our porch, and it sounded like one of the dogs had come through hiding from the fireworks, but it was just Rufus in the bedroom. Anyhow, in what you need to know, we've got the Ace of Swords. Again, swords is still trouble and strife, hurdles, obstacles, challenges, those sorts of things. But the Ace of Swords is talking about there is something new. What you need to know, there is something new, a brand new venture. There is a new challenge within your finances. So this could be something where you are able to take advantage of that challenge. So it could be that there is a chance for you to maybe work some overtime, right? And that working overtime will absolutely help you to pay off your debts or to improve your finances or whatever it is. But obviously that comes at the cost of having to work the extra hours. So that's where the challenge comes in. Okay. But it is when it's this way up, and it's the Ace, and it's in the what you need to know, it's a little bit more positive, because it is literally saying there is a new beginning, a new opportunity that is going to feel like a challenge, but sometimes a challenge is what we need. Sometimes we need that challenge in order to grow, in order to move forward. And it does feel very much like it's coming. If it isn't here already, it's coming. So it does feel as if there will be some movement in your finances, but it may well be, you know, grabbing extra hours at work, taking on a new job, taking on, you know, selling some items that you've got in the back of the cupboard and you want to put on Facebook or on eBay or something. And then in the future, what is coming up, the future opportunities, we've got the Star. Now, again, for me, the Star is very much about wishful thinking and that sort of wishing element, wishing on a star. There's a certain element here of wish fulfillment, right? It doesn't feel as if this is, how can I put it? It's and there is nothing that I can point to in the spread or in the cards that is making me feel this. It's just, this feels more positive. This feels like it's more of a wish as a goal rather than a wish as in throwing a penny in the fountain. Do you know what I mean? It feels much more like there is a way here for you to actually move forward. You've just got to keep your eye on the prize. I don't know whether you know that saying. It's like you've got to set a wish, and your wish might be to earn $1,000 or £1,000 before Christmas, right? And it may well be, to do that, you've got to work an extra 10 hours every week for the next 6 weeks or whatever it is, right? That is, it may or may not be doable, but if you set that as your target and you keep working towards that, that wish becomes reality. And for me, this feels far more like the wish becoming reality rather than it just being a penny in the fountain. I wish to win the lottery. Well, you don't even play the lottery, so how are you going to win? Do you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. So it does feel a little bit more positive. I do think there is change coming, and I think I think the change coming is an opportunity, a challenge for you to work yourself into a better financial situation, rather than it being a windfall or, you know, an inheritance where suddenly, you know, great Auntie Pat, who you haven't spoken to in 700 years. Why have I just said Pat when you're called Pat, and Patricia's also in the chat? Great Auntie Emily, who, you know, you haven't spoken to for 60 years, but she's just passed away and left you a house. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that. It feels far more like an opportunity to get out of a situation through hard graft. Right then, let's have a look. There we go. And let's do your cut. So then, Oracle wise, we've got again transformation. So there is a transformation here. There is a good change. So this is something you are going to need to work for it. You are absolutely going to need to work for it. But this transformation, this is showing there is absolutely, I am right by this, right? It's backing that up. Absolutely 100%, my darling. There is a good, strong possibility here that you are going to get the opportunity to make some more money or to somehow support your finances. But it is going to take that long-term goal and planning and working towards it for you to maintain that. But this transformation card is absolutely backing that up. I'm very happy that turned up. So yes, the answer to your question, yes, there are good changes, but you're going to have to work for it. Hope that helps, my darling. I really do. I am so glad that transformation card came up, because again, it does feel like it's going to be work, because you know, a moth from a caterpillar to a moth, or from, you know, a young child into a teenager, growing pains and effort, it's all about that. But absolutely 100%, I honestly think that with some effort from your part, I do think things are going to improve massively. Yeah, thank you ever so much for your question, and I hope that helps, my darling. Right then, let's have a look in the live chat. Oh, I'm not in the live chat. That's where I need to be. Right then, let's have a wee look. Oh, no problem, my darling. Let us know how things go in the next few weeks. I don't think it's going to be too long before those opportunities arise, especially with that Ace of Swords coming in the what you need to know. This isn't like what you need to know in 6 years' time. This is fairly soon. Right, let me have a look back in the chat. Oh gosh. Good evening, Elise. Nice to see you again. You've had a really shite weekend, so chose to balance that out by showing as much love as possible. That's very good. I like kindness. I believe in kindness. I brought my neighbour's wheelie bin in this yesterday morning just because, and Rufus was like, "Why are you bringing their bin in?" I said, "Because I'm being kind." And we took some pumpkin soup to Slimming World this week because, again, I was being kind. I do believe in the coven of kindness. I was about to show you the pillow, but I don't know where I put it. Oh well, normally it's there. Yeah, exactly. A bad weekend will mean you appreciate the next good one. A spiritual belch. I didn't belch, did I? I don't think I did. I apologize if I did. Good evening, Jack Griffith. Good evening to you. Good evening, Ellis. Hello. What's FaceBay? Yeah, thank you, Ellis. Facebook Marketplace. We call it FaceBay because it's literally what it is. You bloody Windows rattled then. Yeah. You're never going to win if you don't buy a ticket. Hold off Absinthe a second. Hold off, my darling, or we'll get to that. Sometimes you get excited when you get a postcode lottery letter through the letterbox thinking you've won, and then you remember you don't even play it. I have played it, and then I forget, and then it stops, and then I get the letter through, and I go, "Oh, I've won." No, didn't win. A big oh, bugger. That must be so annoying. The road just behind you. Oh my gosh, that must be really, really, really annoying. Wow. Right. Shall we have another round? I think we should. Shall we have another round? Are you up for it? I am absolutely up for another round. Don't forget, everybody, something has launched. Yes, indeed. thewitchesrow.co.uk. It is a growing online resource for witchy folk. If you have ever thought about, are you a witch? Could you be a witch? Are you interested in joining the craft? Then you could do one of a few things, right? You could go and join a coven. The fireworks tell you exactly what I think about that. No, joining a coven is great if it's a working group that you can work with. However, you might just have an interest. You might not be fully in depth and immersed into the witchy world yet. That's what this initial phase of the website is for. If you go on the website, there is a studies page. There are tons of PDF downloads that will go through all sorts of different parts about witchcraft. There's information on there about crystals, about candles, about all sorts of bits and pieces. There's a few spell bits. There's a whole section on Wicca with some downloadable bits and pieces. There's also on there some book recommendations. Also, if you are into your witchy stuff and you want to get some supplies, candles, herbs, things like that, you can click through to where it says supplies, and we've got those available for you on the website as well. They are international. They will be sold internationally. And we are going to be doing courses and workshops. So early next year, I'm going to be doing some mindfulness workshops, because for me, blinking heck, these fireworks, literally, I can feel the room vibrating. These are like big ones going off. But we're going to be doing some mindfulness courses in early next year, because for me, mindfulness helps root, it helps ground us, and it helps through daily stresses, as well as getting into the headspace for witchery and spell casting and all of those things. I am going to be doing some courses and workshops on tarot, as well as some more intermediary and advanced courses on things like tarot, but also on liminal witchcraft, because I am a liminal witch. So there's all sorts of bits and pieces on there at the moment. The website will grow. I've got some videos that hopefully, fingers crossed with my health, but I've got some videos that will be filming this week for candle magic and various color correspondences with that. And that video library, that video catalog will grow as well as we go. So do have a little look on there. Right then, let me have a look. You don't have to be you don't have to have a coven. You can be a covenless witch. It is fine. It is absolutely fine to be a covenless witch. I am 100% a covenless witch. Patricia says absinthe. Absinthe has apparently Absinthe has asked the question. Let me have a look. Where's the question? There we go. Absinthe, I've got it, my darling. I will read for you straight after this. Let me just double check a second. There's honestly, Ellis, there's lots and lots and lots of information out there. Covens are great. The thing about a coven, I've been in two covens. One I left before, like I started, and then it wasn't for me. And so I decided to leave, not because the people were horrible or anything else. They weren't. They were really lovely, but it was a group that worked very what's called Gardnerian. It was a very strict form of Wicca, which isn't what I follow. And for that particular group, they have a big ceremony where they are skyclad, which means naked amongst each other. And I'm not comfortable with that. And that was for me, that was a line in the sand I wasn't able to cross. And for them, it's a line in the sand that everybody who joins has to cross that line. And for me, it's, that's why it wasn't compatible. But lots and lots and lots of witches, most witches, I would say these days, are covenant witches, are solitary practitioners. And that is, that's become the standard. There's lots of online groups and working groups. It is now rarer to find a witch who's ever been in a coven than it is to find solitaries. So yeah. The read is very important. Many do not follow and then get burned. It depends. The Wiccan read is very Wiccan. Harm none. do what thou wilt. Yeah, it's very Wiccan. Yep. Again, this is it. For some people, it makes a big, a massive amount of sense. Some people it doesn't. Yeah, absolutely. We are, Holly, just about. This is what. So this point, Ellis, is exactly what I am trying to help with. There is a lot of information out there, and you kind of need some advice on where to start. All of the information on the PDFs are on the Witch's Road. They're all basic. The Wiccan section will decide whether or not the Wiccan version of witchcraft is for you, because Wicca is a very specific path. Okay, and it's got rules and regulations, a bit like witchcraft, a bit like Christianity, a bit like Islam or Judaism. It's got rules and structure and things in place. Not all witches are Wiccan, not all Wiccans are witches, but it is part of the umbrella. So you can always have a look at those for free, and it will give you an idea if that's a path you want to go down. But yes, that's definitely something to look at. We are taking 3 questions. I've got one in from it was from Absinthe. Sorry, my darling, I clicked off it again and I've now lost it. Let me check. It's in, there we go. I've got one for Absinthe, and then Holly's just sent a super chat in as well. So then, Absinthe, your question is coming up in precisely 15 of Earth's seconds. Earth seconds, not Venus seconds, Earth seconds. Right then, my darling, there we go. Just adjust the camera. So then, as always, Absinthe, we cleanse the space for you, my darling. We cleanse with a bell, and I bring in Wispy, who is the elemental energy that I work with, who is air element, and Wispy is a lovely air dragon. I will put a link. Hang on. There you go. I've just hit it now. In the live chat, there should be a link to the podcast episode where me and Neil talk about my dragons and what they are all about. Also, I'll put the Instagram link into the chat as well, because I'm forever forgetting that I'm actually on that Instagram thing. So then, Wispy, Absinthe wants to know what are his intentions for Absinthe. So that's what we want to know. What are his intentions for Absinthe? I don't know who he is, but obviously Absinthe does. So that's what we want to know. What are his intentions? Let's have a look, my darling. So this is a 3-card spread. There we go. I can smell a candle's gone out behind me. I had the green candle for healing on, and I think it's just burnt out. I like that smell. Page of Swords again. Oh, this is coming up a lot tonight. The 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Right, my darling. First things first. I hope you sat down, my love. And also, I hope that whoever he is, that you haven't given him too much of your time and energy, because it doesn't feel very reciprocated. So his intentions. We've got the Page of Swords. Swords, all of these 3 cards are swords. Swords is all about trouble and strife, obstacles and challenges. Okay, so this is talking about the difficulties and the challenges in life, and swords particularly are those things, those hurdles that are sent to try us, right? I don't believe the universe ever gives us more than we can handle, but I also know that the universe will push you to breaking point. It won't tip you over, but it will push you to that point, to prove a point, to make lessons clear, and it does it all the time. Swords is part of that process. Okay, it's part of that challenge, part of those obstacles, that learning process. The Page of Swords is very youthful energy, very young, very naive, very childlike energy. Okay, so it feels here as if somebody is acting like a child, and this is in the where you are right now. So when we're asking what his intentions are, it's almost like this feels, I don't know whether it's jealousy or possessiveness, but it almost feels like, oh, come on, Wispy, what is that you're giving me? It's like, this is my toy and you can't have it. It's that vibe I'm getting from whoever this person is, whoever he is, right? That is the vibe that I'm getting. It's like there is that possessive element. In what you need to know, my darling, this is the heartbreak card. The Three of Swords is always universally known as the heartbreak card, because it's always depicted in a variant of this, where the three swords are breaking a heart. I don't think he's got intentions for a romance, for a relationship with you. It feels very much like he's done with it. He is done with the relationship. He's done with you, basically. And I hate to say that, but this card is absolute, like, there is no other meaning behind the Three of Swords. It is always about heartbreak and ends of relationships, and it really does feel like, again with this one, he's either done something to make you end a relationship, or he's acting like such a child, such a brat, that he's ending it for whatever reason. And then in the future potential, we've got the Four of Swords. This is about stagnancy, stability, but in terms of stability, normally would be looking at it as a positive. Things are stable, things are going along nicely. In this case, things are stable because there's no life in it. Like, literally, the heart has been stabbed. There is no life in it. It is done. It is over. It looks like this person is laying in rest, because essentially they are. There is no future energy here. And when we look at the this is the possible outcome, the future opportunities. I don't think he intends on being in a relationship with you. If you've split up with him, then I don't think there's any chance of getting back. Like, whichever way you look at it, these three cards are saying that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. So his intentions are to not be in that relationship. I'm sorry, my darling. I know probably you're asking the question because you're hoping for a better answer. Let me have a look at an oracle card as well. Let's see what the Intuitive Insights Oracle has to say. We've got deceit. There you are, my darling. That literally says it all, doesn't it, my love? I don't think he's being honest, and absolutely with these three cards, I would say, my darling, that you are better off without. You are absolutely better off without him. You certainly deserve more than to be lied to and deceited. I don't know whether that's cheating or anything like that. I know that quite often the snakes represent the snake in the Garden of Eden, which can represent cheating and lying and all of that, which is why we've got deceit. But it absolutely feels, my darling, that his intentions are just not worth. They're not worth the steam off of your piss. Honestly, they're not worth anything for you to worry about, my darling. But I hope that helps, and all I can do is say that I wish you the very best of luck, and maybe this reading will hopefully you'll realize that you are worth a hell of a lot more. But thank you very much for your question, my darling, and I again, I'm sorry that it probably isn't the answer that you were hoping for, but I do hope that helps. Right, let me have a look. Holly, I'll come to you next, my darling. Let me have a look at the live chat. Um, oh gosh, bear with everybody. I am attempting that one. Oh, yay. Right. So, good evening to Monica. Good evening to Aisha. Good evening to, who did I just see was in the chats? Good evening to Neetu. Hello, my darling. Oh yeah, no more super chats. That's thank you, Patricia. Let me change that on there. I'm just looking to see if Absinthe has said anything about their reading. Oh, thank you, Monica. Thank you, Absinthe. I've just seen your message there. Look, no problem. I'm listen, you're better off without. You are absolutely better off without. 100% better off without. You really are, my darling. You really, really, really are. So yeah. Yeah, no more super chats tonight. I've got Holly's in, and that will be the last one, everybody, for this evening. Members, Nanette, don't forget, come and join us on the Sunday. You can get a free reading on the Sunday. And for members, it's a 6-card reading for the members, and that's every Sunday evening from 6 p.m. for our members only live stream. Don't forget, if you aren't a member, you can join. Just click that join button. Yeah, come along and join the coven. Join the gang, join the coven. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I know I am, aren't I? Right? I'm a little diamond. Right then, let's have a wee look for Holly. Holly, my darling, your reading is coming up. Oh gosh, in exactly 17 seconds.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
There we go. A little bit wibbly there, but that's fine. Right, let's have a look. So, Wispy, Holly is the last victim. I mean, person I'm reading for. Oh, I'm only joking, my darling. Holly is the last the last querent for tonight, and Holly would like to know, they are single, can they get a love reading? So what is coming up in their love area? What is in the romance section? The passion area? What is coming up for Holly? Is there anything in the cards? Right then, Holly, don't forget, I only see normally a couple of months into the future and following the path that you are currently on. If you change your path, that changes your destination. So a little change from you might only wiggle it a little bit. A massive change from you could wiggle it a lot. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So then, Holly, let's have a look. Let's do your drop. There we go. Don't forget, everybody, I will be back on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. I may do a Thursday evening. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. It all depends how my leg is going with the cellulitis. So we've got where you are right now, what you need to know, okay, and what the future opportunity is, and then linking the 3 of Pentacles to the 6 of Swords. We've got the Lovers. Now that's interesting. Why is that at a funny angle? There we go. The Lovers. Love energy is here. From the Six of Swords to the Ace, we have the King of Pentacles reversed, and from in between joining the Lovers and the King, the root of it all is the Eight of Cups reversed. Interesting. A few positive cards, a few reverse cards, a few upright, a few all over the place. So let's have a look. Where you are right now, the Three of Pentacles. What does this mean? Three of Pentacles is about a period of growth, right? A period of learning. This is about so the card itself shows you a person entering an apprenticeship in a trade. So this person is entering as a stonemason or a stone carving person. I think that's what stonemasons are. I'm not entirely certain, but they're doing the carving of the stones in a church type structure. So whoever that what is it? Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, trade person, wood carving, stone person. Anyway, this is about an apprenticeship. So this is about learning. Okay. The threes are always for me about taking those next steps. This is talking about making those next steps in terms of growth. Okay. So finances is the thing that Pentacles is normally linked with, work, career, finances. However, because Pentacles links in with Earth energy, it also links for me with growth. So there is a chance that you could perhaps learn from past relationships or learn something from past mistakes. It could be relating to that. It could also be relating if there's a study course or uni course or something that you were looking at doing, some kind of qualification. It could be that is coming in because it could open the doors to other things. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know where that qualification is going to lead you, what doors and windows that's going to open for you, and then who you may meet. Do you see what I mean? So there's very much an element here of a learning curve and somehow moving forward towards a qualification or learning new things, right? What you need to know, we've got the Six of Swords reversed. So swords are obstacles, challenges, and hurdles. I've mentioned that already several times tonight, but they are also those challenges, right? And those as I say, those things in life that are sent to try us that we learn from. Sixes are about community for me, the wider scope. You can see these two people. This is actually somebody with their back to us. These people are on a boat. They're trying to move away from their problems, only to realize that they've brought their problems with them. Okay, this is sometimes connected to the River of Styx. It's sometimes connected to other sort of journey type stories. But for me, this is really about trying to escape from problems without ever truly dealing with them. Okay, and the problem with that, this community element, is that you're always going to take your problems with you. Unless they're resolved, unless they are dealt with, you are going to take those problems forward. So again, this is reaffirming that this three is representing a need to grow and learn, perhaps from previous heartbreak or previous relationships. It's coming up reversed, which is saying that I think you are struggling to realize where those mistakes were made in the past, or struggling to let them go. So I put it that way. You're struggling to let go of those, whatever the issues are, whatever the challenges are, you're struggling to let go and move on from that. The future position is really, again, quite positive. Again, you've got this bookended element of growth. Aces are always good to see in a card deck, because it's a new beginning, a new start, a fresh beginning, a brand new venture, a brand new adventure, something that is starting, that's going to lead you down a new direction, a new path. And this again, although it's in your finances, same as over here with the 3, the learning card, although it's in the finances suit, it is also growth. So it could be that there is some, you might start a new job, which could lead you to meeting the boss, and the boss might get on with you, and then all of a sudden you've married the boss and you're a multi-billionaire. Who knows? Who can say what might happen? More likely that, the guy who shoves trolleys around will come on to you. But whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, there is this element here of this new growth coming in and this new venture, which, because it is in that predominantly that abundance field, it's going to bring positive energy with it. And as I say, it's all about that potential for growth. Now, linking the 3 with the 6, we do have the Lovers. So this is absolutely reiterating my point about the learning is about relationships, okay? And learning about the things that have gone wrong, or maybe learning a bit about how you are in relationships. Need a little bit of counseling support. Maybe you need a bottle of wine, 3 friends who are very blunt, and a box of tissues, so that basically your friends will go, actually, when you were with Tom, you did this and that was the problem, and blah blah blah, and you let Jeremy, what the hell am I saying? You let Jeremy walk all over you, but when you were with Louisa, she was the right person for you. So blah, do you know what I mean? It's like there's different ways to learn, but absolutely this Lovers card in this position is 100% saying that, for a start, it's saying you have the potential to love, you have the potential to be loved, you have the potential to have that fulfilling, wonderful, caring relationship, because the Lovers card has come up at all. It is literally in the cards, but it is going to take some learning and maybe some adjusting from what went wrong in previous relationships, or being able to move forward from them in a healthy way. So that's why I suggest counseling with that. But the fact that it's come up at all is really, really positive. Okay, so even though it's talking about there is work to do around maybe an ex rather than it being a series of exes, maybe there was a particular person who you thought was the one, and it turns out they're the one dickhead you wish you never met. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me. From the 6 of Swords linking in the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the King of Pentacles reversed. Now, again, this is talking about, I think there is, so kings are authority figures, kings are potentially father figures, that sort of role. Okay, somebody who is quite domineering. And again, this is in the finances, so this could be a boss, this could be, as I say, it may be an ex who was controlling in terms of finances, or was very not letting you work, or again, this could be a boss and that sort of vibe. But this is basically saying that, again, from the 6 of Swords with this card of wanting to move forward from those issues but maybe not being fully able to, it's like there is definitely something, if there's a work-based thing, right, if there was a work-based relationship that you need to move on from, it could mean that you've got to move department or change office, or something like that, change an area of where you work, for you to be able to clear that energy through. It does feel very much like there is somebody who was more controlling than maybe you would like, and tried to maybe be more of a dominant figure in your life. I would suggest that maybe this was, if this rings true for the ex, then absolutely that's what's reflected. And again, it's talking about trying to move beyond that and leave those issues behind. Again, if it's somebody in the workplace, just bear in mind you can move, you can get a different job altogether if need be, but you can certainly ask to be put in a different department or something. Now, the root of it all, we've got the 8 of Cups reversed. Now, the reversal is perhaps a concern, but the 8 is about moving forward to the 9, right? It's a really bizarre card because you can see here we've got these cups laid out. Cups is your emotional suit, so this is all about passion, your emotions, who you love, who you're friends with, all of that. And you can see here we've got these 5 cups on the bottom and what looks like should be 4 cups in the next row, but one's missing. Well, one's missing is because that would be the 9th cup. And for me, as I always say, 9 is full, 10 is overflowing. So this person is now going off to find that 9th cup, that cup that is going to fulfill everything, going to make things wonderful. The 8 is about that journey. The 8 is about making those final decisions, making those final tweaks as you move forward towards that goal. This is reversed. So this is saying that I don't think it's something that you maybe got to. It feels like maybe there was a fiance that never quite became a husband or a wife. Maybe there was a relationship that didn't quite reach that finish line that you were looking for. And I think this being reversed is saying that that is ultimately, that's probably what you're looking for, is that 9 of cups energy, that all the love, all the romance, all of the connections, everything blossoming. Isn't life wonderful? Here I've got cartoon bunnies around my feet and cartoon, birds resting on my hands and tweety tweety tweety. Do you know what I mean? I think the journey that you've got, right, it honestly feels like there's a bit of repair work, bit of patchwork to do on yourself as a human, as a loving human entity. There is absolutely a little bit of repair work to do in terms of your heart and how you maybe make different decisions moving forward. But also, it really does feel as if there is new energy coming in, right? A new growth energy coming in. It feels like the lessons are there to be learned from previous relationship mistakes, and it really does feel as if you've got this journey now, very straightforward journey through to this new start, new beginning. I hope that helps, right? I really hope that helps. Let me pull you a oracle card as well. This is the Intuitive Insights Oracle from Witch Casket from last month's box, and I love it. And your oracle card, again, deceit, that's come up before. So again, if there was lies, if the previous relationship, if there was deceit in that relationship, if you were lied to, or if you were told, the sky is green and the grass is blue, if you were gaslit in some way, that's how you move forward. Is you remember that actually, somebody chose to deceive you, somebody chose to try and make you think up was down and left was right. That is not on you. Just because you've been deceived in the past doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with you, or that these mistakes were yours necessarily to make. But learning those lessons and moving forward means that perhaps the next person who tries to deceive you, or the next person who tries to pull the wool over your eyes, you're going to have them, you're going to recognize those symbols and stop them in their tracks, basically. I hope that makes some sense, my darling. I really, really, really do. Let me have a look at the live chat to see if you've popped anything into there. That one there. Oh gosh. Right, let's loads back. How there we go. I love to make jokes about what? Victim. Oh yeah, no, I'm only joking. I'm not quite sure what the healing energy is, but you've been in a period of spiritual growth and working on shadow work. Shadow work is incredibly hard. That's why you've got the 3, because you're learning about yourself. And that's why you've got the 6, because you're learning not to take those lessons forward with you. Shadow work is incredibly tough, right? I will tell anybody that shadow work on your own can be incredibly hard. I recommend doing it in tandem with counseling support, or some kind of counseling on standby. You don't necessarily have to say, hello, I am going through shadow work, but to have someone, when things open up, when you look in that dark corner and see what you hid and then realize why you hid it, sometimes that can be a bit of a shock. And sometimes that can be something that you really do need to get a bit of advice on how to clear that out. A bit like if you think about pest control, right? You may know you've got mice in the walls, but you might not have the skills alone to tackle those mice in the walls. And then you might put a massive hole in the wall to start, putting down traps on that. And then you realize it's not mice, it's actually rats. And the problem is a lot worse than you thought it was. Again, using that same analogy, if you're going to a counselor, when you open up your metaphysical wall in your mind and you realize it's not a couple of baby mouse in there, it's actually a full-blown herd of rats, whatever it is, that at that point, that's where you realize you do need that professional support, in the same way that's when you would call a pest control. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Freemason, yeah, possibly stonemason is what I meant. Thank you, my darling. I'm doing okay. I've just got cellulitis, even though I am very aware I've been sat in this chair for 2 hours. Yeah. Listen, mistakes are very easy to play over in your mind, very, very easy to play over in your mind, because it's something that you go, oh, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Oh, I keep going over. You can't change it. So if you can't change it, why let it live rent free in your head? Just like expunge it. It shouldn't live rent free. Don't give it any more of your energy, right? If those negative thoughts, if those negative memories are sucking up your energy, if it's like a giant energy sponge, don't send it any more energy. Send your energy somewhere better. So he was always about money, your ex. That again, that might be why that money, and that'll be why the king's reversed. Okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense. There was a relation that didn't fully develop. More work. Okay, you understand. Oh, no problem, my darling. I'm glad you're working on those boundaries. You're a Reiki practitioner, so a whole can of worms opened up when I started practicing. It's really tough. It is really tough, my darling. But do you know what? Shadow work has been the best thing that I've ever done in my life. Getting to know who I am on the inside authentically, with all the barriers removed, with everything stripped down to its rawest form. It's very hard, but it's also incredibly positive in the long run. And I've learned that I actually quite like the person I am, but don't tell anybody. Anyway, I'm glad that helped, my darling. I really am. Thank you so much for everybody who asked questions today. Sorry I couldn't get to more of you. Unfortunately, we have a 2-hour time limit, especially tonight. I wasn't sure I'd be able to go this far. My leg feels very, very tight and very constricted with the cellulitis. So I do need to finish now, and probably should have finished about half an hour ago, to be fair. But you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed this evening. Thank you to everybody who asked questions. Thank you to every single person out there who has supported the channel in any way. Thanks for all the likes. And don't forget, do make sure that you hit your subscribers bell and change your settings to all, because I may or may not be going live on Thursday, depending on how my leg is Thursday evening. I may or may not be going live. But there will be videos coming up but hopefully between now and Sunday, the first of the candle magic videos will be sort of being released. So do look out for those as well. And I've got 2 book reviews to come this week or early next week, so they're in the pipeline as well. But that is it from me. Thank you to the moderators. You are all bloody amazing, and I love you all. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I am thoroughly amazed that I have friends like the mods on this channel. The mods are beyond bonkers, and I love each and every one of them, and they are the best group of people. And through the mods, we've got the best subscribers and the best community anywhere here on YouTube. I love the chat. I love how supportive you all are of each other, and long may you all reign. I know, right? I'm off now. See you later. Hopefully there'll be no more fireworks where we are. It sounds like it's gone quiet, so hopefully the doggos have recovered. If you've got fireworks going off where you are, I wish you a pleasant night's sleep, and I wish that the fireworks are quieted and that your pets and furry loved ones don't have to suffer the way ours have done the last couple of days. But thank you ever so much for being here. I will see you all again on Sunday, if not before. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you on the next one.